So, a quick tour of my sticker wall. Let's talk about what you're looking at. So, I sent some money in for the Thalia Capo startup. Moe's Original is a barbecue place here in Huntsville. I bought a GoPro that is a beer fest thingy at Back 40 in Birmingham, and I've been to see my son several times there. Uh, Ober Gatlinburg, we went there recently for vacation. Locust Fork Band is a band that my godfather's little brother was in back in the 70s that my dad loved. Loved that band. I am not a Deadhead, but I decided I do like the Dead, but I'm not a Deadhead. And I went to a 50th anniversary party here in Huntsville and got that sticker there. So that's why that's there. O Town Brewer Exchange is here in Huntsville. Rocket Republic is a brewery in Huntsville. More Than Rockets is/was a band in Huntsville, whom I've never seen, but I love the term More Than Rockets. Shit Yeah Zunzies. That is, Zunzies is a place in Savannah, Georgia. That's an awesome restaurant. It's not really a restaurant. They serve, forget what kind of food, but it's a specialty food. Rise Biscuits is in Savannah. Rocket City Rebels roller derby. Have no idea where that came from. I bought a Yeti cup, so I got that. Eargasms 8 was a CD that was put out by some local Huntsville bands. That's really awesome. We went to France in 2019. Snooze or Snoozy, however you want to pronounce it, is a breakfast restaurant in Colorado that my daughter and I went to. Cross-Eyed Owl out of Decatur is a brewery. Blue Pants is another brewery. It doesn't exist anymore. Trigg County Liquors is my oldest daughter and I stopped there on the way on our drive to Salt Lake City, and I wanted to stop and get some bourbon for when we got to Salt Lake and camped out. I've been to SIGGRAPH twice. 2019 was the last time I went. Destin, Florida, of course, everybody here in Alabama goes to Destin. Alabama Golf, of course, that's what we do. Donated some money to Special Warriors or Special Operation Warrior Foundation. I needed some foam for a box I was making for a gun, and a guy on a forum sent me special foam for guns that won't rust guns or tarnish guns and whatnot. And he said in return, he didn't want payment. In return, I needed to make a donation to Special Operations, and I did, and there you go. Cedars of Lebanon, I went to a timber framing class there in Cedars of Lebanon. Yellowhammer is my favorite brewery in Huntsville. I was an avionics tech in the Navy. Brick House is it's in a place here in Huntsville. It's a restaurant here in Huntsville that I meet with friends occasionally. That is a woodworker on a YouTube woodworker that I used to follow. Mad Malts is a brewery. Hodad's is in San Diego. I went there with my kids. Norfolk, Virginia. I went there recently for work, but that is also where I was where we shipped out of when I was in the Navy. Of course, Huntsville. Palmetto State is where I bought my first AR upper. I was an avionics tech in the Navy. We went to Santa Fe, New Mexico on vacation. For work, I had to go to Fort Hood, but of course I landed in Austin, and the Austin Beer Garden Brewing is amazing. The Austin Beer Garden place is freaking fantastic. Old Black Bear is one of my favorite brews in Huntsville. K99 Rocks is a online radio station that basically follows the format of a 1970s radio station out of Birmingham, Alabama called K99. And it's album rock. And apparently these folks, they love K99 as much as I did when I was a kid, and they made their own radio station, but it's online. Trim Tab is my kid's favorite brewery out of Birmingham. Of course, I was in the Navy. Colorado Springs, one of the breweries that we went to when we went to Colorado. Tybee Island, I work for SAIC. South Huntsville is where I live. Matt Cremona is another woodworker that I follow. Black Hawk is what I'm working on. Upslope is my all-time favorite beer out of Colorado. Yellowhammer, again, I know. Yellowhammer, love them. Straight to Ale is more or less the evil step brother of Yellowhammer, right there. Not fond of them. However, they have fantastic tacos al pastor. Amazing. Another Rocket Republic, a different sticker. I learned a little bit about Python when I was working in another job, so that's a Python sticker. Went to Tennessee. Of course, if you go to Tennessee, you got to get a Tennessee sticker. That's actually when we went to Gatlinburg, got a Tennessee sticker. Old Smoky Moonshine out of it's in Gatlinburg. Mod Pizza, Ben Carson, self-explanatory. Donated some money to his campaign, his 2016 campaign. Mod Pizza, first time I went to Virginia, to Newport News, Virginia. The coworker I was with said we got to go to Mod Pizza. We went there, so I got a sticker there. H&H, got a trailer hitch put on my car there. Unfortunately, I'm a Milwaukee fanboy, and I say unfortunately because I don't like being a fanboy. And red is not necessarily my favorite color, but I prefer my tools be red so I can see them, and Milwaukee is red. That's Substance Painter. Substance Painter is a piece of software I use for work. NASA, of course, Huntsville. It's Huntsville. Salty Nut is another brewery in Huntsville. Iron City is a restaurant in Birmingham. Rick Carter is a longtime legendary guitar player in Birmingham, Alabama. Floating Feathers is my co-worker's, the same guy that I went to Fort Eustis with there. That's his Floating Feathers is his school that he teaches kayak fly fishing. Red Rocks, when we went to Colorado, we went to Red Rocks. And of course, Jay's, once again, that's Jay's Custom Creations. And I don't have a Henry, but I want a Henry really, really bad. Don't know where that one came from, but I like it. REI, I've been there several times. Innisfree is a Irish pub in Birmingham. Of course, I went to Colorado. Invisible City is a alternative radio show here in Huntsville. West Side is Governor's Avenue over in Huntsville. Fame Recording Studios out of Decatur, the Swampers. Everybody knows that, right? Then you have Bell's, which is another brewery. You have Avondale Brewery, which is a Birmingham brewery. Cork and Cask is a place that my oldest daughter and I went to when we got stranded in Colorado Springs. Same with Iron Bird. Williamsburg, of course, anytime we go to Fort Eustis in Newport News, we go to Williamsburg. Savannah, of course, I went to Savannah. Goat Island Brewing out of Coleman here in Huntsville. Fire and Spice is a Tex-Mex place real close to our house here. Montesano State Park, one of my favorite state parks. Falling Rock Brewery is a brewery in Denver, Colorado that a friend of mine recommended that I go to, and I went there and I got a sticker from there. They have their entire establishment is encircled with beer bottles, and no two are the same. Bearded Brothers is a kind of an independent, not even really commercial brewery. They were at a brew fest that we went to, and I loved their beer. Green Bus they're not a brewery, but they are a brewery, but they're more like a tap house, actually. This is from a Christian camp that my daughter went to. Of course, there you are, California again. Black Patch is a kind of like a tap house here in Huntsville, but they do whiskey. Molly McPherson, Savannah, went there. Vertical House Records is a used vinyl place here in Huntsville. Edgar is a local musician that goes to different Mexican restaurants and plays, and he is a fantastic guitar player. Of course, I went to Austin. I do a lot of stuff for Army Aviation. I like Duluth stuff. Went to Washington, D.C. for a little bit. Went to Germany for a while. That was on vacation. That was fun. Back 40, Birmingham, is a pretty cool brewery in Birmingham. Shub Capos is a capo that I have, and they're decent capos. Piper and Leaf is a tea place here in Huntsville. I'm not a fan of tea at all, but they're independent, and my family likes them. Karma Rags is an independent, kind of like recycled clothing, but funky clothing place in Huntsville. The obligatory AAA sticker. I don't really love Nashville, and I think the Pancake House is a little bit overrated, but it was good. I just think it's kind of overrated and didn't warrant a line all the way out and around the block, but they were good. Adventure Science Theater, we spent the night there for my daughter's one of my daughter's group things. Then you got Golden Road. This is a brewery that I went to when I stayed in Glendale, California. Yorktown Pub. Yorktown Pub is a place in Williamsburg that we go to every time we go to Fort Eustis. L'Etoile is a new place here in Huntsville that's a French patisserie. My daughter was in James and the Giant Peach. This Interstellar Ginger Beer is Interstellar is a kind of an independent brewery here in Huntsville. I was actually in CAG 13, but this is a sticker for CAG Commander Air Group 8. So I just kept it just because I was in the Navy. Don't forget Sam and Greg's. Sam and Greg's is a local pizzeria that's fantastic. One of my favorites. I have two favorites in Huntsville, and that's one of them. And then, of course, if God wanted us to filter our beer, He wouldn't have given us livers. I have no idea what that means, but I like the sticker. So I think that's everything. I'm pretty sure that's everything. And there you go.